Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Get ready, because we're about to go on a magical, high-energy, completely upside-down imagination tour. Today, we're exploring a super silly, totally wonderful poem called If Mice Could Roar. We're going to dive headfirst into this crazy, cartoonish world to see what happens when the absolute impossible becomes magically possible. But right before we jump in, here's a quick warm-up question straight from the text. If you could change one thing in the world to make it more fun or kind, what would it be? Go ahead, put on your imagination caps for a second. Would you make the clouds out of pink cotton candy? Maybe everyone gets a tiny pet dinosaur? Keep that amazing idea in your head as we explore what the author of our poem decided to change. Okay, let's dive right into section 1, Wild Animal Wonders, flipping the zoo upside down. So normally, in the everyday real world, tiny little mice just squeak, right? But in this cartoon poem world, mice roar, literally roar. Imagine a tiny little mouse opening its mouth and sounding exactly like a giant, fierce lion. That would definitely surprise the neighborhood cat, wouldn't it? And hey, it doesn't stop with the mice. Check out the elephants. Usually, they're the heaviest animals around, walking with this big, earth-shaking stomp. But not here. In our upside-down world, elephants soar. Just picture these giant, heavy elephants magically lifting off the ground and floating right up into the clouds like big gray blimps. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. You can actually see the giant elephant just happily flying through the sky, ears flapping in the wind, and right below him, there's our little mouse, standing on its back legs, looking super tough and roaring out loud. It's just perfectly ridiculous. Now, what about the scary, hungry animals in the jungle? Well, the poem tells us that tigers dine on biscuits and wine. Instead of prowling through the dark jungle hunting for supper, these tigers are having super fancy, polite dinner parties. They've totally traded in their sharp claws for some excellent table manners. Just look at this cartoon tiger sitting so nicely at a pink tablecloth. He's got a lovely glass to drink from and a plate full of delicious little orange biscuits. He looks like he's about to ask someone to please pass the napkin. It's so funny to imagine a wild striped tiger enjoying a fancy afternoon snack. We're going to wrap up the animal section by flipping one more big rule. Everyone knows turtles and tortoises are the slowest animals on Earth, right? They just slowly crawl along. But in this poem, tortoises run. Imagine a tortoise zooming past you at top speed. Here, the slow are fast, the heavy are light, and the tiny are incredibly loud. Moving right along to Section 2, Wacky World Rules, things get even sillier. All right, check out this rapid-fire list of impossible things happening in the poem. Number 1, trees grow up in the sky. Instead of planting roots in the dirt, they just float around in the clouds. Number 2, pebbles can sing. Imagine walking on a gravel path and hearing a tiny rocky choir singing a catchy tune. And number 3, bells never ring. You can shake them all you want, but absolutely no sound comes out. It's a completely topsy-turvy place. Ugh, and this part always gets a giggle out of me. The poem says, "And the fattest of men could fly." Look at this fellow in the bright orange shirt magically floating on screen. Gravity means absolutely nothing to him. He's just floating up, up and away, looking pretty thrilled about it too. Now, what's really interesting about this next line is, well, it's kind of a secret wish for anyone wanting a day off from school. It says, "And teachers were lost in the post." The post means the mail. Just imagine your teacher accidentally put in a giant paper envelope, stamped, and mailed to the wrong address. I guess school would just have to be canceled, wouldn't it? And what about the mean kids? The poem has a hilarious plan for them, and bullies be buttered on toast. What a wonderfully silly, sticky, and absurd punishment. Instead of being mean on the playground, they just get scooped up, spread out, and buttered right onto a giant piece of crispy breakfast toast. That'll definitely teach them. Let's move to Section 3, A Much Nicer World, the Magic Pivot, and see how this builds. Look at how things change here. Normally, nobody likes losing a game, right? It's a total bummer. But in this magical world, losses be won. Even the bad feeling of losing is magically flipped around into the happy, cheering feeling of winning. Sadness just straight up disappears. Then we get this truly lovely thought. If a song brought a shower. Close your eyes and picture that for a second. You sing a happy melody, and instead of just hearing the sound, colorful musical notes float up into the sky and bring down a gentle, refreshing rain. You can even see those colorful notes swirling right around the mouse in our cartoon drawings. And this next line might be my absolute favorite magic trick in the whole poem. And a gun grew a flower. Think about that. Something that's normally scary, dangerous, and used for fighting suddenly sprouts green leaves and transforms into a pretty, peaceful flower. All the fighting just instantly stops. So, the crucial point is right here. This world would be nicer than most. The poet isn't just making up silly things about soaring elephants and buttered bullies just to be goofy. They're showing us that by using our imagination, we can picture a world that is totally kind, peaceful, and filled with joy. Which brings us right back to our warm-up question. If you could change one thing to make the world fun or kind, what would it be? Now that you've seen a world where pebbles sing and weapons turn into blooming flowers, what is your magic idea? Keep dreaming up those amazing ideas, because using your wonderful imagination is the very first step to making the world a nicer place. Thanks so much for joining me on this upside down tour today. Keep imagining, and I'll catch you next time.